Welcome to the Top Stoic channel. Bring positive energy into your life. 9. Ways to recognize envy and falsehood in others. Have you ever found yourself doubting the sincerity of those around you? It's easy to get caught up in the charm of friendly smiles and pleasant words. But behind these simple gestures, there may lurk hidden emotions like jealousy or deceit. We often assume we can easily tell who is truly genuine with us. But the truth is far more complicated. The reality is that jealousy and dishonesty are not always easy to spot. They can be expertly concealed, making the ones who harbor these feelings even more dangerous. Picture this. You're celebrating a major accomplishment at work, surrounded by colleagues and friends offering their congratulations. The room is filled with smiles and applause, and everything seems perfect. Yet, beneath the surface, a nagging feeling starts to arise. Something just doesn't feel quite right. Why is it that, despite the outward praise, you feel uneasy? Perhaps somewhere in that crowd of well-wishers, there's someone masking their jealousy behind a smile. Though their words are kind, the emotions behind them may tell a different story entirely. This is when the subtle signs of jealousy and deception begin to make themselves known, often in ways we don't immediately recognize. This is where the wisdom of Stoic philosophy comes into play. The ancient Stoics taught us that human emotions, especially negative ones like jealousy, are often hidden beneath layers of social grace and pleasantries. In this video, I'm going to share with you 10 powerful methods to help you spot these hidden emotions in others. These strategies, grounded in centuries-old Stoic principles, will not only help you manage your own emotions and find inner peace, but they'll also equip you with the tools to identify and deal with jealousy and deceit when they arise. By incorporating Stoic teachings into your life, you'll gain the strength to handle complex relationships with wisdom and clarity. These methods will not only empower you to navigate through toxic dynamics, but also help you create deeper, more meaningful connections with others. So, before we begin, I have a small challenge for you. Watch this video all the way through. Each lesson is crucial, and missing even one could mean missing an important piece of the puzzle. When you're ready to start this journey, leave a comment below saying, "I am ready," so I know you're prepared to explore the transformative power of Stoic philosophy. 1. Observe their actions. One of the core tenets of Stoic philosophy is the principle that actions speak louder than words. This lesson emphasizes that a person's actions are the most authentic reflection of their true nature and intentions. Words are often unreliable. They can be manipulated, altered, or outright fabricated. Actions, however, are harder to disguise and reveal the true character of a person. When you find yourself observing the people around you, pay close attention to any contradictions between what they say and what they do. It's easy to get swept up in kind words and friendly gestures, but more often than not, actions will reveal hidden truths. Take, for example, the classic scenario of a colleague who congratulates you for a significant achievement at work. Their words are filled with praise and admiration, but behind closed doors, they may be undermining your efforts, speaking ill of you to others, or attempting to minimize your accomplishments. It's their actions, not their words, that disclose their true feelings. This discrepancy between words and behavior is one of the clearest indicators of insincerity, and more often than not, jealousy. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers, once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This powerful statement reflects the Stoic belief that our character is not defined by the promises we make or the words we say, but by the actions we take. So when you find yourself evaluating others, Look past their sweet words and observe their actions. Do they follow through on promises? Are they consistent in their behavior, or do they change depending on the situation? These actions are the true evidence of a person's integrity. Think about the example of a friend who repeatedly promises to be there for you during tough times. But when the moment arrives, they vanish. Their actions betray their words. It's in moments of difficulty that we see who someone truly is. The friend who claims to support you but fails to show up in times of need isn't a true friend. They may say all the right things, but their actions reveal their lack of sincerity. Observing how people act when they think no one is watching can also provide crucial insights into their character. When there are no rewards, no audience, or no stakes involved, how do they behave? Do they remain kind and considerate? Or do they revert to selfishness and cruelty? This is a valuable test for discerning the authenticity of someone's nature. Actions that are consistent, even when there's nothing to gain, are often a true reflection of a person's integrity and character. This concept, while powerful in evaluating others, also serves as a mirror to reflect on our own behavior. Are we true to our words? Do we follow through on promises? And do we treat others with the same respect we expect? The Stoics taught that character is defined not by what we say, but by what we do. Thus, applying this principle to our own lives can help us become more mindful of our actions and align them with our values. When you focus on actions over words, you learn to see the world through a clearer lens. You become more adept at identifying people who are genuinely supportive and those who are pretending to be. This practice helps filter out those who wear a mask of kindness but harbor hidden motives. In doing so, you not only safeguard your emotional well-being, but also become better equipped to form relationships based on authenticity. In addition to evaluating a person's actions, it's crucial to observe their reactions to your success. Success often brings out hidden emotions in people, and how others respond to your achievements can tell you a lot about their true feelings. Jealousy, in particular, is difficult to hide, and it often surfaces in the form of negative reactions, backhanded compliments, or dismissive behavior. Consider the last time you experienced a significant success, whether it was a promotion at work, completing a challenging project, or achieving a personal milestone. How did the people around you respond? Did they genuinely celebrate with you, or did you sense an undertone of jealousy or resentment? People who truly care about you will share in your joy and acknowledge your hard work. Their words will be supportive, and their actions will reflect their happiness for your success. Jealous individuals, on the other hand, will often downplay your achievements. They may try to belittle your success or offer criticism disguised as advice. They might even go so far as to attempt to sabotage your progress by spreading rumors or attempting to undermine your credibility. The Stoics believed that people who are secure in themselves are genuinely happy for the success of others because they understand that one person's success doesn't diminish their own. Jealousy, in contrast, arises from insecurity and a fear of inadequacy. When someone reacts negatively to your success, it's a clear sign that their feelings toward you may not be as sincere as they appear. The Stoics taught us to focus on our own growth and development, regardless of how others react. While it can be painful to face jealousy or deceit from those we trust, it's important not to let their behavior affect our peace of mind. Instead of reacting with anger or frustration, we should focus on what we can control: our own actions, attitudes, and choices. If you find that someone in your life consistently reacts negatively to your success, it's essential to reflect on the nature of your relationship with that person. Is their behavior a one-time occurrence, or is it a pattern? Are they genuinely supportive? Or are they simply pretending to be? The Stoics believed that it's better to surround ourselves with individuals who uplift and encourage us, rather than those who secretly resent us. In relationships, honesty and mutual respect are far more valuable than the hollow praise of those who hide their true feelings. One powerful way to gauge the authenticity of someone's support is by noticing how they treat others, especially those who can't offer them any tangible benefit. Jealous and deceitful individuals tend to treat people based on what they can gain from them. If someone is kind and respectful only to those who hold power or can help them, but dismissive or cruel to those who have nothing to offer, it's a strong indication of their true character. The Stoics believed in treating everyone with dignity, regardless of their status or position. A noble person's worth is not determined by what others can do for them, but by how they treat others. Think about how the people around you behave when they think there's nothing to be gained. Are they respectful and kind? Or do they show disdain for those they deem beneath them? Pay attention to these subtle cues. They will often reveal much more than their words ever could. It's in these moments that a person's true character shines through. Jealousy, arrogance, and deceit may be well hidden beneath a facade of kindness, but it's when no one is watching that the mask slips. In the end, the Stoic approach teaches us that the way people treat others, particularly those who can't offer anything in return, is a direct reflection of their true nature. By observing how others behave in these situations, we can better discern who is truly sincere and who is simply playing a role. And just as importantly, we can use these insights to evaluate our own behavior and ensure that we are living in alignment with our values. Remember, actions speak louder than words, and how someone treats others, particularly the vulnerable, will always reveal the truth of their character. 2. Distinguish between praise and flattery. Flattery, when it crosses into excess, is one of the most common yet subtle signs of deception and jealousy. Too often, we fall victim to the allure of exaggerated compliments, mistaking them for genuine praise. The truth is, excessive flattery rarely stems from a place of sincere admiration. Instead, it is often a tool used to manipulate or mask hidden feelings of envy. While a sincere compliment can lift your spirits and encourage your growth, flattery that goes beyond reasonable limits should raise a red flag. It's essential to remember that your self-worth should never hinge on the praise of others, especially when that praise doesn't come from an authentic place. Ask yourself, do these compliments genuinely reflect my achievements? Are they in line with the work I've put in? When someone showers you with excessive praise, take a moment to evaluate their intentions. Could they be trying to gain something from you? Perhaps they're seeking to win your favor or manipulate your actions. More often than not, excessive flattery is a shield for deeper insecurities or jealousy. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, wisely noted in his Meditations, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This profound insight applies perfectly when dealing with compliments. While receiving praise may feel gratifying, we must be cautious about the intentions behind it. Excessive flattery can easily lower your defenses, making you more vulnerable to manipulation. What may seem like praise could instead be a calculated move designed to cloud your judgment and influence your decisions. To protect yourself from such manipulation, the Stoic approach encourages us to remain grounded in our core values. Instead of being swept away by insincere compliments, we should evaluate them objectively. Does the praise match your efforts? Does the person offering it genuinely support your growth? Or are they just trying to gain something from you? Learning to distinguish between sincere admiration and hollow flattery is key to preserving your authenticity. Take, for instance, a common scenario in the workplace. You may encounter colleagues who shower you with compliments in front of others, making it seem like they're your biggest supporters. However, when the spotlight fades, you may find that these same individuals fail to offer real help or criticize you behind your back. This inconsistency in behavior is a classic sign of flattery used to cover up envy or self-interest. By staying alert to these patterns, you can protect yourself from toxic relationships and avoid being manipulated by those with ulterior motives. As the Stoics teach us, true strength lies in understanding and affirming your self-worth from within, rather than relying on external validation. So, the next time you find yourself on the receiving end of excessive praise, take a step back. Assess the situation with wisdom and discernment. What is this person truly after? Are they offering genuine admiration, or is there a hidden agenda? This practice will help you build stronger, more authentic relationships, rooted in mutual respect and honesty. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you were overly flattered? How did it make you feel, and how did you respond? Share your experiences with us in the comments below. Your insights are invaluable in understanding how we can all grow stronger together. 3. Monitor consistency. Consistency is one of the most important factors when assessing a person's true character. It's easy for someone to say all the right things, but it's their actions that truly reveal their integrity. The Stoic philosophy teaches us to pay close attention to whether a person's behavior aligns with their stated beliefs and values over time. This process helps us uncover the true nature of people, especially when dealing with deceit and jealousy. Inconsistent behavior is a powerful indicator that something might not be as it seems. When you're evaluating someone, observe their actions in different situations. Do they act the same way regardless of the circumstances? Or do they adjust their behavior to suit their own goals or desires? The Stoic principle emphasizes that real character is demonstrated through consistent actions, not just words. For example, someone who constantly shifts their behavior based on what they stand to gain, whether it's from a colleague, a friend, or a superior, is a person who cannot be trusted. This inconsistency in actions is often a sign of jealousy or deceit. Think about someone who claims to support you, perhaps even going as far as to praise your success in front of others. But when you're not around, they speak ill of you, possibly undermining your achievements or sharing negative remarks. This behavior may be repeated over time, and while it may seem like an isolated incident at first, if it happens more than once, it's crucial to start paying closer attention. This pattern of saying one thing and doing another is a telltale sign of insincerity, and it is often rooted in jealousy. These contradictions can often be subtle, maybe an awkward gesture or a slightly forced tone when they compliment you, but over time, you'll begin to notice the inconsistencies. One of the best ways to assess consistency is by observing how someone interacts with others, especially when no personal gain is at stake. A truly sincere person will treat everyone with respect and fairness, regardless of their status or potential to offer something in return. This means they won't go out of their way to flatter someone they can benefit from, while ignoring or mistreating others who have nothing to offer them. Genuine respect is shown to all, not just to those who can help advance personal interests. When evaluating the people around you, ask yourself, do I know anyone whose behavior changes depending on who is around or what they stand to gain? Do they act inconsistently when they think no one is watching? Or do they treat everyone equally, regardless of their potential value to them? If you've noticed someone whose actions don't seem to align with their words, it's time to proceed with caution. Such people may be hiding envy, resentment, or dishonesty behind a facade of kindness or admiration. Consistency in behavior is a reflection of a person's true character. If you find that someone's behavior is consistently positive, transparent, and respectful, it's a good sign that they are genuine in their intentions. However, if you spot patterns of manipulation or inconsistency in their actions, take note. These are the individuals who might be harboring jealousy or other negative emotions, and staying aware of this can protect you from toxic relationships. We're now halfway through our journey, and I want to thank you for joining me on this path of understanding and self-awareness. Your support is invaluable, and by sharing these lessons with your friends and family, you help bring the wisdom of Stoic philosophy to others. As we continue, remember, true strength comes not just from what we say, but from the consistency of our actions. Let us continue to explore these lessons and apply them to our daily lives. Please leave a comment saying, "Always observe carefully," to let us know that you're ready to move forward with the next steps on this journey to becoming a more mindful and authentic individual. 4. Observe their attitude when criticized. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most prominent Stoic philosophers, once said, "If someone can show me that what I think or do is not right, I will gladly change, for I seek the truth, which never harmed anyone." It is the person who continues in their self-deception and ignorance who is harmed. This quote reflects a profound truth about the nature of wisdom and sincerity. Wise and genuine individuals are always open to constructive criticism, as they see it not as a threat to their ego, but as an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. For Stoics, criticism is not something to fear. It is not a judgment of character, but a reflection of one's actions or beliefs. When criticized, a Stoic does not react defensively or resentfully. Instead, they examine the feedback with an open mind, assessing whether there is truth in the criticism and using it as a tool for becoming a better person. This mindset fosters humility, growth, and the continual pursuit of truth. On the other hand, those who are driven by jealousy and deceit often react in a completely different manner when criticized. They might become defensive, angry, or even retaliate harshly. This reaction typically stems from a deep-seated fear of having their flaws or hidden intentions exposed. Jealous individuals are often unwilling to confront their own insecurities, and so they protect themselves by attacking others or attempting to discredit the critic. Rather than embracing feedback as a chance for improvement, they see it as a threat to their carefully constructed facade. Have you ever encountered a colleague or acquaintance who became overly defensive when receiving feedback? Perhaps they immediately tried to justify their actions or responded with hostility. Such reactions can be a red flag, indicating a lack of self-awareness and a deep insecurity about being found out. Jealous and deceitful people often struggle to accept their faults, which is why they react so negatively to criticism. Consider the example of a leader in the workplace. A good and sincere leader listens attentively to feedback, understanding that constructive criticism helps them grow and create a more effective and positive environment for everyone involved. Such leaders do not shy away from criticism, but welcome it as an essential part of self-improvement. In contrast, a leader who is insincere or motivated by jealousy may dismiss, ignore, or even punish employees who offer feedback. This creates a toxic environment where fear and resentment thrive, rather than one of mutual respect and collaboration. Reflect for a moment. The last time you were criticized, how did you respond? Were you open to receiving the feedback and considering its value, or did you immediately try to defend yourself and reject it? Your reaction to criticism can tell you a lot about your own willingness to grow and improve, as well as how you interact with others. Before we move on to the next lesson, ask yourself this: do you know someone who frequently judges or compares others? If so, it might be time to reconsider the nature of your relationship with them. Why? Let's explore that in the next lesson. 5. Attentively notice unintentional comparisons. In our daily lives, we are often subjected to unconscious comparisons. These remarks, though sometimes brushed off as innocent, can be far more telling than we realize. Stoicism teaches us to listen carefully and understand the intentions behind such comments, as they can reveal hidden jealousy or deceit. In many cases, when someone compares you to others, they are not just making casual observations, they are unconsciously exposing their insecurities and desires to undermine you. Take a moment to reflect on the last time you were compared to someone else. Was it a casual mention, or did it carry an underlying message? These comparisons often arise from a place of insecurity, particularly when someone feels threatened by your success or qualities. For instance, if a colleague constantly draws comparisons between your achievements and others, it could signal that they perceive you as a threat to their own status or sense of worth. Instead of celebrating your progress, they might feel compelled to diminish it in favor of someone else, perhaps to elevate their own position or soothe their own self-doubt. Imagine this scenario. You've just hit a significant milestone at work, perhaps receiving recognition for a project or accomplishment. Instead of offering congratulations, a colleague responds with, "That's great, but I think John did something even better last year." On the surface, this might seem like a harmless comment, but beneath it lies a deeper intention. The comparison is not a neutral observation. It's a subtle attempt to undermine your success and make you feel less worthy. This kind of behavior often comes from a place of jealousy, where the person making the comparison feels threatened by your growth and seeks to minimize it. By paying attention to these unconscious comparisons, we can begin to distinguish between genuine supporters and those who are motivated by jealousy or insecurity. True friends and colleagues don't feel the need to compare you to others in order to validate your worth. They appreciate you for who you are and celebrate your achievements without the need to measure them against someone else's. When someone is truly happy for your success, they won't feel the urge to pit you against others. So, when you encounter these unconscious comparisons, ask yourself, who in your life is making these remarks? Are they people you should trust and continue to invest in emotionally? How do you feel when you hear these comparisons? Does it make you feel less than, or does it spark reflection? Stoic philosophy encourages us to view these comparisons as external factors, things beyond our control. Recognizing this helps us maintain inner peace, regardless of the judgments or opinions of others. Do you agree with this Stoic perspective? If so, hit like. If you have a different view, share your thoughts in the comments, and we can discuss it further. 6. Pay attention to their reactions to personal failures. Stoicism teaches us that failure is not a reflection of weakness, but rather a vital opportunity for personal growth. It is a chance to demonstrate patience, resilience, and maturity. True strength is revealed not in the absence of failure, but in how we handle it. Those who embody the core principles of Stoic philosophy approach their mistakes with humility, acknowledging their shortcomings without hesitation. They do not seek to avoid failure or shift blame onto others. Instead, they learn from their mistakes and actively work to improve. This kind of self-awareness and responsibility is a hallmark of integrity, and these individuals are the ones you can trust and admire. On the other hand, Those driven by jealousy and deceit often handle failure very differently. When they fail, rather than accepting responsibility, they immediately look for external factors to blame. This might include blaming colleagues, circumstances, or even bad luck. They avoid any accountability, which shows a fundamental lack of self-awareness. In many cases, deceitful individuals might even create elaborate stories or false narratives to protect their fragile egos and mask their inadequacies. Instead of reflecting on their mistakes, they focus on justifying them. Think about a time when you've encountered someone who constantly blamed others for their failures. Did you notice a pattern in their behavior? This could be a subtle sign of jealousy, as these individuals may be unwilling to accept their flaws or confront the truth about their actions. Their defensive reactions to failure are often more about self-preservation than self-improvement. This behavior is not only a sign of emotional immaturity, but it also reflects a deep fear of vulnerability. A truly honest person, however, will admit their mistakes, take responsibility for them, and use failure as an opportunity to grow. They do not hide from their failures, nor do they look to others to shoulder the blame. Instead, they embrace failure as a necessary part of the process, learning from it and becoming stronger in the end. This openness to self-reflection and improvement is what distinguishes a person of integrity from one driven by deceit and jealousy. As Da'aku Ikeda once said, "A person's true nature is revealed at times of the greatest adversity." This profound statement resonates deeply with Stoic philosophy, underscoring the importance of observing how someone reacts during difficult times. How people handle failure speaks volumes about their character. If you find yourself observing those around you, take note of how they behave when faced with adversity. Do they take ownership of their failures, or do they point fingers elsewhere? I encourage you to reflect on your own experiences with failure. How do you react when things don't go as planned? Do you take responsibility and strive to learn from it, or do you seek to blame others? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's continue the conversation about growth, accountability, and self-awareness. 7. Evaluate how they share personal information. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once profoundly stated, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This powerful quote underscores a fundamental Stoic belief. The way we think, the way we speak, and the way we carry ourselves is a direct reflection of our inner state. A person's words, particularly how they share their successes and failures, offer a clear window into their character. It is in these moments that we can truly discern sincerity from deceit, integrity from manipulation. Stoicism encourages us to examine how others talk about their personal achievements. A person of genuine character will typically share their successes with humility, focusing not just on the accolades, but on the valuable lessons they've learned. They understand that accomplishments are a result of effort, learning, and growth, and they don't need to boast or exaggerate. Their words resonate with modesty and wisdom, not pride or ego. In contrast, a deceitful person tends to embellish their successes, often overstating their achievements to make themselves appear more impressive. They may introduce unnecessary details to make their story more compelling, creating a facade of excellence. This behavior is often rooted in insecurity, a need to prove something that isn't truly there. When you encounter someone who constantly highlights their accomplishments, particularly in an exaggerated or self-congratulatory manner, ask yourself, what are they trying to hide? Equally important is how someone discusses their failures. A true, honest individual will not shy away from admitting their mistakes. They will openly reflect on their setbacks, acknowledging the lessons learned and the growth that came from them. There is no shame in failure for them, only an opportunity to improve. However, the deceitful individual will often try to avoid the topic of failure altogether, or worse, shift the blame onto external factors, circumstances, other people, or bad luck. This reluctance to take responsibility speaks volumes about their character and exposes their lack of authenticity. Additionally, jealous and deceitful individuals often share personal information about others with malicious intent. They might divulge secrets that were entrusted to them or distort facts to paint others in a negative light. This manipulation of information serves to elevate their own status while lowering others. When you encounter someone who constantly speaks ill of others or compares themselves to those around them, recognize it for what it is, a reflection of their jealousy and internal conflict. As we navigate daily interactions, being attentive to how others share their personal experiences can help us avoid negative influences and protect our own peace of mind. If something someone says gives you pause, don't be afraid to ask questions or to reflect on their true intentions. Remember, words are powerful, and what people say often reveals more about their inner world than they realize. With this awareness, you can better protect your soul from the negativity and deceit that may surround you, and make wiser, more informed decisions about the people you trust. 8. Listen to your inner voice. Have you ever found yourself working alongside a colleague who seems overly friendly and always eager to lend a hand, yet something about their presence makes you feel uneasy? If the answer is yes, stop for a moment and listen closely to your inner voice. It could be a subtle, yet powerful sign that your instincts are warning you about dishonesty or jealousy lurking beneath the surface. Reflect on times when you felt an inexplicable sense of discomfort around someone without a clear explanation. That's your intuition at work, guiding you to deeper truths. Our instincts, often referred to as our sixth sense, are invaluable when it comes to protecting us from potential threats. They serve as an internal radar, alerting us when something feels off, even when we can't immediately identify why. If you feel uneasy, take a step back and analyze the situation. Is this person always trying to outdo you or compete with you? Do their compliments seem exaggerated, perhaps even insincere? These seemingly small actions can be key indicators of jealousy or deceit. Ask yourself, why does this person make me feel uncomfortable? If you notice inconsistencies between their words and actions, that's a clear signal that something isn't right. For example, imagine a colleague who is always acting concerned about your well-being, offering help at every turn. Yet every time they do, you feel a sense of unease. Look closely at the finer details you might have brushed off in the past. Perhaps they frequently compare themselves to you or make subtle remarks about others' shortcomings. Even if they don't openly criticize you, you may sense an underlying competition or need for validation. Your instincts are sending you a message about jealousy and deceit. Never underestimate the power of your inner voice. It is an essential tool that helps you distinguish between people who genuinely have your best interests at heart and those who are pretending to be your friend while harboring hidden motives. While your intuition is important, remember not to ignore the voice of reason. Try to find balance, blending both intuition and rational thinking to make informed decisions. The key is to carefully assess the situation and recognize when jealousy or deceit may be influencing someone's behavior. 9. Conclusion. Recognizing deception isn't always easy, but it's an essential skill for protecting ourselves and staying true to our values. Jealous and deceitful individuals can be found anywhere within our closest relationships, in the workplace, or in everyday social interactions. They may present themselves as supportive friends, but beneath the surface, they sow seeds of insecurity and discord. Stoic philosophy offers us a powerful framework for navigating life with wisdom and composure. By applying its principles, we can learn to identify and distance ourselves from toxic influences. After all, life is too valuable to waste on people who do not genuinely support us. True happiness comes from surrounding ourselves with those who uplift and encourage, rather than those who seek to undermine us through hidden envy and dishonesty. The methods we've explored today serve as valuable tools to help you recognize and steer clear of those driven by jealousy and deception. You deserve a life filled with peace, positivity, and meaningful connections. Take control of your surroundings by being mindful of the company you keep and standing firm in your personal values. Thank you for taking the time to engage with this message. If you found these insights helpful, consider sharing them with friends and family. Together, we can create a world rooted in authenticity and trust. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to stay updated on more thought-provoking content. Challenge yourself to apply at least one of these strategies in your daily life. Then, return here and comment "I did it" to share your experience. What changes did you notice? How did it impact your relationships? I'm here to listen and discuss your thoughts. Let Stoic philosophy be your guide, leading you toward inner peace, resilience, and a life free from unnecessary negativity. Stay strong, stay wise, and keep moving forward.